Hi, everyone. Welcome to this 1 hour chair yoga class. I'm happy you could join me today. We're going to start the class off with a breath exercise where we're going to take a breath in for 4 counts and then exhale it for a count of 6. So bigger, deeper inhale, a slower, more mindful exhale. And we're going to do a little bit of warming up the body, the spine, the shoulders, the hips. And then I wanted to get into some active and passive mobility. So active mobility is when we move the joint, the body moves itself. So my hip joint here is moving the leg, the hip joint's moving the leg, my muscles of my shoulders and arms are moving the shoulders. Passive mobility is when you're using your body part or the chair, or if you're doing a class on the floor or you're using a strap to help you get deeper into that stretch. So I can use my hands to bring my knee in closer to my chest. I can bring my arms overhead, but then use my other arm to stretch that shoulder um, into a deeper stretch. So we're going to work a little bit on that today and then end with a nice resting pose shavasana for 2 to 3 minutes. So I hope you enjoy class. Let's get ready. We'll sit away from the chair so we're more active. I don't want to be leaning and rounding over. I want our shoulders to be floating over our hips. You can roll those shoulders up, back, and down a few times, and then let the shoulder blades rest gently on the back ribs. I want you to have your feet planted firmly into the floor, so toes facing forward, and you can wiggle those toes a little bit and then press them down. And then feeling like your heart is opening, like your throat is opening, so there's no constrictions there at the front of your chest and neck. You can close your eyes if that feels good. Before we do our breathing exercise, let's take some mindful breaths in and out. So inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And in through the nose, nice and easy. Exhale through the nose or mouth. Now all together in through the nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale through the nose for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now a couple on your own. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhaling for a count of 6. Inhaling when you're ready. Exhaling when you're ready. One more. Good. Regular breath in and out if you feel like you have to catch your breath. Take a bigger deep breath in. Notice if your shoulders and jaw have tensed up and let that go. Wiggle it out a little bit. Good. And from here, let's take some head circles. So thinking about circling your head, but rather than thinking of making a circle with your chin, thinking about lifting up at the base of the skull. So right where the neck and the head come together, we're going to take some, we're going to lift from there. So as we exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest and the base of the skull lifts up. On the inhale, the ear is going to tilt over to the left. And then again, instead of thinking of the chin lifting up, thinking of the back of the skull lifting up and then tilting your head to the other side. Exhale, bring your chin down. And then 2 more circles like that. So inhaling, head tilts to the side, and then we lift up the base of the skull as the chin lifts up a little bit, and we head to the other side as we exhale. 1 more, lengthening the neck and the throat. Exhale, down. Let's take 3 circles in the opposite direction, taking your time. Again, leading with the base of the skull so that we don't create this big kink in the back of the neck where the head gets heavy and then we can't lift our heads back up. Do 2 more like that. Inhaling, nice big deep breath in. Exhaling to the other side. And 1 more. We'll all end with our chin looking downward. And then head back to center, chin parallel to the floor. We'll keep our hands at our knees here. We'll take our cat-cow, again thinking about lifting with the base of the neck. So as we inhale and bring the heart forward, instead of just bending at the neck and the head gets really heavy and the chin goes really high, lift with the base of the skull. You can still get a nice arch in the back. And then as we exhale, we can lift that base of the skull upward and stretch from the tailbone to the head. Inhale, lengthening the spine, heart lifts. Exhale, rounding out the back, chin to chest. A little push of the hands into the knees. Let's do a few more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. If your eyes are open, they can look towards the navel. Inhale, lengthen. Push the hands into the knees, round out the back. On the inhale, let's lengthen to a neutral spine, shoulders floating over the hips. And we'll come into some reaches. So feet are on the ground, and we'll reach high onto the right side with our left arm on a diagonal. And then we'll reach the other arm across. And then we'll take that left arm across but forward, and then the right arm across and forward. You can let your weight shift a little bit from side to side. Now we're going to reach down on a diagonal on the outside of the leg and down on the diagonal on the other side. We'll go a little bit faster, up on the diagonal and across, and then forward, and we're crossing over, and then down on the other side of the knee, and down on the side of the knee. Maybe a little bit faster still, up, across, and down, down. If you need to go a little slower, go a little slower. If you want to go a little faster, you can go a little faster. I'll give you some time here to work on that at your own pace. But just feel the shoulder blade pulling and moving across the back. Feel the stretch along the back body. Your eyes can follow where you're reaching. Let's do 2 more rounds. Down and down. And one more. Up, up, across, across, and down and down. Good. Let's give our hands a little shake. We'll bring the arms down by the sides of the body. And now I want us to think about having a really tall spine. We're going to reach our fingers down towards the floor. So left fingers down towards the floor, but without collapsing. So think of going over a big beach ball. And then squeeze on the right side of the waist to come up. Good. Other side, reach down. Left side of the waist, squeeze to come up. And then side to side. I like to exhale on the way up where I have that effort. Inhale on the way down. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to reach. Exhale to come up. Inhale to reach down. Exhale to come up. And then down. Good. We'll do one more on this right side. And come up. Let's take our hands to our knees. We'll take some knee circles. So imagine you have a pencil on the front of your knees and you're making some circles. So you have to lift up those heels as you bring the knees across the body. Try to get up onto those toes so we warm up the ankles and the toes as well. And let's switch directions with the knees. Good, and then back to center. We're going to take the knees out and bring them back in. And then other direction. Great. Let's place our feet on the ground and then slide those heels forward a little bit and pedal the toes or pedal the ankles really. So trying to get those toes to touch the floor. Good. And then let's bring those toes to reach up towards the knees. Spread the toes as much as you can and then curl them in. We'll spread them and curl them in. We're going to do this later standing up. That's going to help us with our balance. Spread our toes and then curl them in. Good. Give those toes a good wiggle and then slide the feet back. All right, so here we're going to come into that active mobility of our hips. So let's take our hands to our waist. Our hands can hold the chair behind. It's going to be more challenging to hold onto your waist. And then we'll bring the left knee up towards the chest and bring it out to the side and make a circle there. So we're using the muscles of the hip joint to move that leg. And let's do one more and bring that down. We'll take that same movement on the other side. So bring the knee, right knee up to the chest and then bring that knee out to the side and out and back in. So we want to not just have flexible joints and a flexible body. We want to have a strong and flexible body. Let's bring that foot to the ground so that we're not just really flexible and all loosey-goosey, but we're strong and controlled in our movements. So let's bring that left knee, excuse me, up, and you can hold it with the on the outside of your knee. We're going to take our right arm out to the side, and that left knee is going to come out, and we're going to now use our arm to stretch that leg out to the side more than we probably could on its own. Flex the foot or point the foot. Just make sure that that foot's active and it's not just hanging out. And then pull that knee away out to the side and reach your fingertips. Open your heart. Let's take one more breath. Exhale, bring it in and drop it down. Give your hand a little shake. And we'll head to the other side, same thing. So right hand to the knee or maybe under the thigh. We'll take it out to the side and we're going to take that leg out to the side at a greater angle than it probably could on its own. Left hand out to the side, palm facing forward. You could do this with your toes on the ground as well. You could still get a nice stretch with the support of the floor. So do what is best for your body today. And let's bring that back in. Good. Both feet on the ground. Give your hands a little shake. Okay, so now we're going to bring that left knee into the chest, but we're not going to use our hands. So either hands at hips or hands holding onto the chair. And then straightening out the leg, point the toe. So exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, bring the knee in as high as you can go. Stretch the leg out. Let's do two more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Actually, let's do one more. Exhale and inhale, point the toe, and then drop that foot on the floor. Good. Other side, we're going to bring the right knee in as high as we can, and then stretch it out. You can point the toe. Exhale, knee up and high. Inhale, stretch out the leg, point the toe. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Two more. See how high you can bring that knee without leaning back. And then point the toe. Last one. And stretch it out. Good. Place that foot on the floor. Give your legs a little wiggle. Good. And then from here, let's take our both our hands this time. Interlace either underneath the thigh or in front of the knee. Gonna bring that left knee up into the chest. So from the side, you can see that if I bring my knee up by itself, it only goes so high. If I grab onto my leg, I can bring that knee up quite a bit higher. Keep that foot flexed or pointed, active leg. And then drop that leg down. Take your hands, your interlaced hands, flip the palms forward and stretch that out. And then turn the palms to face in. Keep the hands interlaced. You can interlace the other finger on top if you want. And then hold onto that right knee and pull the knee into the chest. If you notice you're using your shoulders and your neck muscles to lift up and your shoulders are shrugged up nice or high, drop them down, let the elbows fall out to the side, and then pull the knee in from there. A couple more breaths, holding that in, giving your leg a nice stretch. And place that foot on the floor. And keep your hands interlaced, turn your palms forward, and then press the hands and palms in front of you. And turn the palms back in, give them a little shake. Take your arms out to the side, inhale. On the exhale, let's bring the left arm on top of the right. Just a soft hold of your shoulders or shoulder blades. We'll take an inhale here, nice and tall, and exhale using our core. Again, this is active mobility because we're just using the strength of our body to turn and look to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the other side. So we're just using the strength of the muscles around the spine and our core to turn us around. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the first side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center and exhale. Let's drop the arms. We'll take an inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring them down to about shoulder height. We'll take the right arm on top of the left. Just a soft hug of the shoulders. Again, don't scrunch your shoulders to the ears. Let that drop down. If you need to drop your elbows or even separate your elbows a little bit to get that ease in the neck, then go ahead and do that. We'll take an inhale from here. Twisting over to the right, exhale. We're using the power of our core to turn us and look over the shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, use the power of your core muscles and look over the shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, squeeze, look over the shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. And inhale back to center. Open the arms, give them a little shake down. And then inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale all the way down. Okay, heading back to our legs, we're going to take our knees now to a circle out and focus on bringing it back in. So we'll take the knee out and then squeeze it back in, like you're trying to squeeze your legs together. And then take that left leg out, squeeze it back in. We're making a circle. Squeeze it back in. So the focus and the intent and attention is on the motion back inwards. Let's do one more and place that foot on the floor. Same thing, other side. We're going to go out and then squeeze it back in. Out and squeeze it back in. Good. Big circle, bring it in. Big circle, bring it in. One more. Bring it in. Good. Now we're going to use the power of our hands to help us in that movement. So you can take your right leg out a tiny little bit. Left leg's going to come to center more. We're going to take that right hand to the knee or thigh. And again, you can keep that foot on the floor or you can float it off the floor a little bit. We're going to turn our body over to the left. Reach our left arm back behind us with the palm facing outward. The thumb is up. And we look back at the hand or just to the side, or even you can look forward to your knee, whatever is the most comfortable for your neck. Let's hold that twist for another couple breaths. Open the heart, reach the fingers behind you. And then we'll slowly bring that all back to center. Good. Roll your wrists in one direction and roll in the other direction. And then let's take that left leg out to the side a little bit. Right knee in. We're going to take the opposite hand to the knee in front or to the side. The toes can come to a little kickstand, or you can float that foot off of the floor. You're going to bring that leg across the body as you reach back with your right arm and come into a twist. Looking back at the hand, palm facing out, thumb up, or just to the side, or even forward to your front knee. When you're ready to exhale, bring that arm forward and drop your foot softly to the floor. Good. Take your hands out in front of you and roll the wrists other direction, and then open and close the fingers. Let's go wide with our legs for a wide-legged stance. And on the inhale, we'll take the right arm up and over. Hand can stay on the knee or forearm to the thigh. And then let's come back up. Both arms can come up. And then head to the other side. Exhale. Inhale to come up. Exhale to our side bend. Inhale to come up. Always thinking about lengthening the spine and then curving over so that we just don't collapse and the spine, and we create a big kink in the spine. Inhale the arms up again. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to come up and exhale to side bend. We're going to inhale both our arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. We'll bring the arms in a downward V. Inhale to come to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist. We're going to stay here. You might need to bring your legs in a little bit closer. And we're going to keep our right hand on our left leg. And we're going to bring our right arm up and over for a side bend. So we're twisting a little bit our heart, well, we're twisting quite a bit our heart over to the left side, and we're bringing our left arm over the body for a side bend. You can wiggle your legs a little bit wider and keep gripping on your fingers, and that might help you get a bigger stretch in your shoulder. Let's take one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's bring that arm down. Good. Nice and easy to center. Let's bring our forearms to our thighs and cat-cow from here. So again, lengthening with the spine, tilting the pelvis forward, and then exhale, rounding the back, chin to chest. So from the side, it's our cat-cow, but our forearms are on our knees. Let's do one more, lengthening the spine, and exhale, rounding out. Inhale to a neutral spine, hands to the knees, press up. Bring your arms up and over. Exhale, twist to the right side. So our left hand is on our right leg. Our heart is turning over to the right side. And we're going to take that right arm up and over for a side bend, but keep your hand holding onto the thigh. From here, you can wiggle the legs a little wider if you'd like. And so here we're using our body to get into a deeper side bend and a deeper twist than we would be able to if we were just doing it on our own without the use of our hands and legs. Big deep breath into the side ribs and waist. And then exhale, bring that arm down, face forward. And again, let's bring the forearms to our thighs and cat-cow from here, tilting the pelvis forward and back. Using the breath with the movement. So your breath is really a tool in this practice. If you ever find yourself holding your breath, you're doing something that's might be too hard or you might be putting too much effort into it. So you can ease yourself out of whatever you're doing, or be mindful and remind yourself to breathe. Sounds like a silly thing to say, but sometimes we have to remember to breathe. Good. Nice big rounded out back. Exhale. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine, hands to our knees, and roll up. Bringing your feet in a little closer, let's reach for our ropes. Pull our elbows towards our waist, stand up. Standing behind our chair. I want us to roll onto our toes or roll forward with the weight on the front of the feet. And then we'll roll back to our heels or just the weight to the back of the foot. So you don't have to lift off the ground if it hurts for any reason, especially if you have plantar fasciitis or anything else going on with your feet. You can just shift your weight forward and back. Okay. Or if today you have a little bit more movement in those feet, you can lift the heels up off the floor, come up to the toes, and then roll back on your heels and lift the toes off of the floor. Good. And then we're going to come to our flat feet. Hopefully you can see my feet here. We're going to roll to the outside edges of the feet and then roll to the inside edges of the feet. Okay, so back and forth. Just a nice roll side to side. This is a nice exercise to do. You can do it sitting down as well. Feet flat on the ground, and then just give it a little roll on all the edges of your feet. So if you've been sitting down a lot, or your feet and your ankles or shins and calves are tight and maybe a little swollen, you can do this exercise. Okay, roll into the other direction. And this is all going to help us as well with our balance and staying nice and upright when we stand. Good. Okay, from here, let's take a little, I want you to have a little bit of a distance away from the chair so that you can bring your knee up. We're going to take some knee circles. So a little bit further away from the chair, but still close enough that you can hold on to it if you need to. We're going to lift just the toes up. So if you're pressing down in the center of the heel, you're going to press down in the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound and see if you can lift up just your toes. Then you're going to spread them out nice and wide and then gently bring them to the floor and then give them a little grip like you're trying to pull yourself forward. You're going to shift over to the right side, the right leg. So most of the weight's on your right leg. Then we're going to take the left knee up, and just like we did before sitting down, we're going to take these circles. Let's change directions. And place that foot on the floor. And again, lift up just your toes. You can have a look down at your feet. Make sure your toes are all lined up and your toes are facing forward. Spread the toes, place them down on the floor, and then a little grip like you're trying to pull yourself forward. Going to shift our weight over to the left side, bring the right knee upward, and take some circles. If you have to tap in between each one, each circle, or hover. Other direction. Good, and bring those feet down on the ground. Okay, give it a little march. And both feet on the ground. from here, let's keep our left hand on the chair. Our right arm, palm facing in, is going to reach forward as we inhale. Exhale, bring that elbow out to the side and back in towards the waist. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, out to the side and down. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, down. Same thing, other side. Reach forward with your left arm, palm facing in. Then the palm faces out. And we reach those elbows down back to the waist. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, slide the elbow down. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now you can try it with both hands off, or if you're still going to have your left hand on the chair, we're going to do 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, or both hands 4 times. So inhaling, hands forward and up. Exhale, out to the side. Either one hand or both hands forward. Exhale, out to the side. Switch hands if you're doing one-handed. We're going to reach forward, one hand or both. Exhale out to the sides. And last one. Inhale. Really pull those elbows back as far as you can. Same with the hands. Slow all the way down. Good. Excellent. All right, from here, let's stand onto the side of the chair. So turn, so your right hand is holding on to the back of your chair. You're going to be standing behind your chair still. Your balancing leg is going to be the leg that's closest to the chair, so the right leg. And then the left leg is going to be the leg that's going to move back and forth. So let's head back to those grippy toes. Lift up the toes, spread them out, press them down to the floor, give them a little grip. Lean over to the right side, and then bring the left knee up, or tap them down forward in front of you. And then you're going to either slide that heel back or give it a step back to our warrior one. The heel can press down. Make sure you give yourself enough space from left to right so that you're not on a tightrope but on train tracks. We're going to bring that knee back up and then slide or step it back. Warrior one. Left hand can be on your waist. Knee up, step back, knee up, step back, and then knee up and step back. Make sure you're on those train tracks. The back heel is down, toes are up. We're going to stay in our warrior one, bending that front knee in line with your toes, and then taking the left hand up and over for a side bend. Up and over for a nice side bend. If you want, you can bring your fingers to the opposite ear and lift your elbow even higher, using the weight of your head and your hand as leverage to lift the elbow and stretch out the side waist and hip. Couple more breaths here. Inhale to reach the arm up. Exhale to bring it back down. Stepping to center, facing your chair, and then marching it out. Okay, and then we're going to turn, face the other side. Same thing. Going to hold on to the chair with our left hand. Our left foot's going to be the balancing leg. So lift up your toes first, spread them out, give them a little grip, lean over to that left side, right hand to hip, and then right knee up or tap the toes forward, slide or step back to our warrior one. And then bring that knee up, exhale, inhale back, exhale, bring the knee forward, exhale, Inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back. Let's hold our warrior one. Let's get nice and settled for it. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight, heel is in, toes are out. And we're going to take that right arm out to the side, bring it up by the ear. Hand can always be on the shoulder with the elbow up, or we reach the arm up and over towards the back wall. The fingertips can always come to the opposite ear. The head can get heavy into that hand, and you use that as a little bit of a leverage to lift the elbow up a little higher and stretch out the waist and hip. Again, use your breath here. If you're holding your breath, just remind yourself to breathe. And maybe it's just a little bit too hard and you want to come out of it and into a more softer version of the pose. Okay, inhale the arm up. Exhale, bring it down. Stand to center and give yourself a good march. So you're standing behind your chair still. Good. Then let's bring the heel to bum. So trying to tap your heel toward your bum. Okay, so from here, let's do our tree pose. We've been working hard on lifting one leg up, gripping our toes. So I think we're ready for our tree pose. I'm going to show you from the side a little bit, just so you can see what my legs are doing, but you can stay behind your chair. I'm going to spread those toes out again, give them a little grip. Going to shift our weight to our right foot, and our left toes and knee are going to point out to the side. So we don't want to turn our knee so much that our chest starts to turn, because that will challenge our balance even more. So keep your hips facing forward, keep your shoulders facing forward. Your knee comes out just as much, just to the point where you start to turn. You can slide your foot up a little higher if you want, or you can keep the toes down and float the hands off. Squeeze the inner thighs. Feel the gripping on the toes. We've been working a lot on balance and on our strong legs and hips. If you want to bring the arms up, you can. Or you can bring the hands to heart. Keep your eyes focused in one spot. And again, remember to breathe. Exhale, bring everything down, give it a little march. Holding onto your chair, walking back to downward facing dog. The hips are just floating on top of the ankles, and our arms are reaching forward. Our head comes just above the arm bones or at the arm bones and not below. Keep the head active, reaching forward and not just dipping your head down towards the floor. Take a nice deep breath into the low back. Exhale. Another deep breath into the low back. And then bending the knees, looking forward, exhaling as you round all the way up. And stand behind the chair. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and down again. I'll show you from the other side, but you can stay behind your chair. Holding onto the chair, feet side by side. We're going to lift up the toes, spread them out, and then a little grip at the bottom. Going to shift our weight over to the left side. Our right toes are going to come to the floor and the knee comes out to the side, just to the point where you start to turn. Once you've turned, you've gone too far. Keep your hips and shoulders facing forward. And then to increase the difficulty, you can slide the heel up towards the knee, or you can keep the toes where they are and lift your hands off of the chair and bring your hands up, or you can have your hands at your heart. Squeeze the abdominals and engage your upper thighs. If you wobble a little bit, that's totally natural. We're working, every time we wobble, we're actually strengthening the muscles around that foot and shin. So that's part of the practice. It's not a failure of the practice if you fall over, it's just the practice. And we'll slowly come down from that. Give yourself a march. And then one more time, downward facing dog. Hands stay on the seat, the back of the chair. We walk our feet back. And this time, if you want, pedaling the knees, looking under the armpits or over the arms as you twist the body side to side. All right, back to center. Big deep breath in the low back. On the exhale, round it out and stand up behind your chair. From here, lift up those toes one more time, spread them, and a soft, soft grip this time. Hands can come to the sides or hands to heart. Take a couple breaths here just to feel the work that um, our body has done, and feel the energy that's flowing through the body. Feel the breath that's flowing through the body. Maybe you can feel your heart underneath your hands. Let's wiggle the hands, wiggle the feet, and let's take a seat. Good work, everybody. Okay, I wanted to do a few things for our shoulders before we take our Shavasana. So let's bring our arms out in front of us. We'll bend at the elbow, hover the palms at the elbows, and we'll take the left arm over the right for this one. Hold on to those elbows, and then take those elbows as high as you can manage with your shoulders. So if you're here in front of your head, you're just going to stay here, and we're working on just lifting the shoulders a little higher. If you can bring the arms over the head, then you can bend at the left elbow and slide the hand behind the neck. Your head might start looking down, regardless of where you are. So try to lift the chin parallel to the floor. And you might have to push your head into the arm a little bit. Couple of breaths. As you finish your exhale, hold on to your elbow again if you let your hand drop down. And we'll bring those elbows out in front of us. Good. Let's sway the arms forward and back and alternating which arm goes on top. Okay, and then let's take those arms out in front of us again, bend the elbows, turn the palms to float over the elbows, and our right arm is on top this time, holding your elbows, bringing the arms as high as your shoulders can manage. Okay, if you're in front of your head, you're just going to keep lifting up and putting your effort there. If you can bring your arms behind, you're going to bend the elbow, the right elbow, and slide the hand towards the base of the neck. And then there's a tendency to look down in this pose. So look upward or look forward, not upward, just forward. Chin parallel to the floor as much as you can. Big deep breaths into the heart and armpit space. If your hand is down by your neck, hold onto your elbow again, and let's bring those arms forward. Sway the arms forward and back, alternating which arm comes on top. Okay, and then from here, let's bring our right foot to center and foot right foot to center, left foot on top, crossing at the ankle, or we're going to cross right at the knees. Okay, try to bring this outside foot down. So our knees and our inner thighs are kind of squeezed in together. Going to bring our arms out to the side. Take your right arm on top of the left. Give yourself a nice hug. Take an inhale. Bring the arms down and lift the head upward. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring the head down and the arms upward to meet at center. Inhale, elbows down, head up. Exhale, arms up, head down. One more time. Inhale, head up, arms down. Exhale, arms down, or arms up, head down. Good. Inhale, back to center. You can keep your hands where they are. If your elbows come together, you can bring the backs of the hands together, or maybe even the palms together. But if your elbows aren't connecting and pushing against each other, I want you to keep your hands on your shoulders and just work from here to lift your elbows forward and away from the body and stretch out in between those shoulder blades. Okay. If your hands are together, backs of the hands are together, same thing, elbows forward and pulling away from the body so that we can stretch in between the shoulders. Gazing softly around the forearms if your forearms in front of your gaze. And very slowly undoing the arms. Good. From here, we're going to slide our hands down our legs. You can keep your forearms on the thigh and chin rolling towards the chest, or you can roll those hands down towards your ankles. Hands back to the knees, roll up, head is the last to come up. Undo the legs and let's cross them the other way. So left foot on the bottom, right foot crosses on top, and we bring the knees together, or the right knee on top of the left knee, and that top foot's going to squeeze down towards the ankle. Going to bring our arms out to the side, this time the left arm on top of right, hugging at the shoulder blades. Drop the shoulders so that the neck is not um, creating effort there. And then we'll inhale and exhale, bring the head down and the forearms upward. Inhale, lifting the head upward, elbows down. Exhale, head down, arms up. Inhale to lift the head up, elbows down. Exhale, head down. One more like that. Inhale, upward with the head, down with the arms. And then down with the head, up with the arms. Inhale, back to center. And again, if your elbows are not one on top of the other, Just keep working on pulling the elbows towards each other, gripping the shoulder blades and pulling them apart as you lift those elbows forward and away from the body. If your elbows do touch and you can create this hinge action and the backs of the hands come together or the palms, you can go ahead and do that. Gaze softly around your forearms, and then we'll all take deep breaths in between the shoulder blades. Very softly undoing the arms. And then one more time, forward fold, sliding down, forearms to thigh or hands towards the ankles. Let's take 3 breaths, breathing up the back. And as we exhale, softening downward. Hands are going to come to the knees or thighs. We're going to roll up, undo the legs, and let's sit back in our chair. So bums wiggling all the way back, leaning back, hands on the thighs, palms up or palms down. You can wiggle those legs a little bit out to the side and let them rest. Letting the forehead soften, letting the eyes soften, ears, jaw, throat, relax. Let the arms get heavy from the shoulders down to the hands. Let the heart stay open, but soften your ribs and your upper back to the chair. And then softening your lower back, pelvis, and belly. Allowing the legs to get heavy downward from your hips all the way to your ankles and toes. We'll take 2 to 3 minutes here, allowing the breath to settle and allowing the thoughts to slow down. Bringing your attention back to your breath and back to your body, feeling the breath come in through your nose, filling up the lungs, getting warmed up by the heat of your body. And then as you exhale, that warm air comes back out through the nose. And with that warm air coming into the heart and into your center, sending it out to the arms and legs as you exhale, and start to wiggle the arms and the legs, taking whatever movement your body just instinctually wants to take. Don't think about it too much. And then sitting up a little taller, bringing the legs in closer, sliding the hands to the knees and wiggling up to the edge of the chair. Let's plant those feet to the floor, grounding into the earth below us. And then feeling the open heart, open throat, and the top of the head reaching to the sky. We'll take our hands out to the side, inhaling, gathering peace for the body. Exhale, bringing it to the heart. Inhale, gathering peace for the mind. Exhale, bring it to your center. And inhale, gathering peace for the spirit. Exhale, bring it to center. Always taking a moment during the day to connect with yourself without all the labels, expectations, or anything else that you might put upon yourself or other people might put upon you as well. So feeling that connection with your deep inner self. Trying to keep that connection with you for the rest of your day and the days to come as well, of course. All right. Thank you so much for joining me in class today. Namaste.